I'm not on the floor. Okay, I'm just kidding, I am. But
Concealing Pre-Stretched.
hey guys, what's up with your girl Kirsty? Welcome back to my channel. If you guys have been watching my videos, you guys already know knotless braids is the it style right now. It's currently in season. Doesn't seem to be going anywhere. So you know I had to do it again. If you haven't watched that video, please go ahead and hit the little bar that pops up right here and watch that video, because y'all, my mind is blown at like how much of a difference these braids came out versus the first ones I did. So enough of that. Please don't forget to like this video if you like my feedback that I'm going to share about these braids. Please also hit that subscribe button so that way you stay tuned to every single style that I post here first, okay? All right, without further ado, let's get right into it. So here it is, red knotless braids. Don't judge me, my edges are not done and I'm not going to do them. You're gonna accept me for who I am, all right? But this is what they're looking like. We're almost at 2 weeks, okay? This is what it's looking like. Not very much frizz, if at all, any. Okay. Oh, snitched on myself. Yeah, so this is how it's holding up. It's holding up really well. Number one, knotless braids are lightweight. Lightweight and braids, that is probably a winning combo in anybody's book, right? Who wants to walk around with heavy braids? I personally experienced having heavy braids and I was stuck with my neck, you know, in pain for like 4 months and had to go see a chiropractor to adjust myself. So, knotless braids are super lightweight. If that's something that you're into, get these. Number two, knotless braids are extremely low tension. Why? Because of the way that you start this braid. When you start a knotless braid, you're starting with your real hair and then you are gradually adding in pieces of braiding hair. And the pieces that you're adding in, they are not very big. So again, that contributes to lightweight and that's going to contribute to low tension, like very low tension. Number three, knotless braids, you can put your hair in a bun immediately after getting knotless braids. And I'm not talking about a stiff bun. I'm talking about a nice, beautiful, elegant bun. Let me show you. Knotless braids, you can manipulate your braids as often and very quickly, like immediately the day of getting knotless braids, you can manipulate them. A lot of you guys ask about knotless braids frizzing up. I have not been dealing with any frizz at all. Take them out when I want to, right? So the thing with knotless braids, I was so against doing them. I waited so long to do them because I just thought that these were not going to last in my hair. I was going to be ready to take them out. No, I am absolutely not ready to take these out. I am in love with knotless braids, and I showed you guys already. The frizz is like, there's none. Is none. These frizz where? Not here. You guys asked about parting, right? You guys want to know how to part this hair. So when you are parting your hair for knotless braids, and I'll show you guys in this clip right here, when you're parting your hair for knotless braids, You want to make sure that you follow a consistent pattern. It's kind of like when you're doing triangle box braids, you want to make sure that when you make your first initial line, that every single part, you know, that you make there is going to be identical, right? Then your next line, it's obviously it's a bigger space, right? Because your head is a circle shape. You are going to have more squares. I know that sometimes it can seem tedious, but make that square small if it has to be. So when you're parting, you want to make sure that you are using a rat tail comb, a nice pointy metal rat tail comb, or a nice pointy plastic one, right? Go over with your comb to really make it precise, okay? With the green knotless braids, I actually tried 2 different methods for installing the green knotless braids. Remember, I did a modified method because I was stuck and couldn't figure it out, right? So I said, okay, I'm going to do this, and it worked for me. Now, the regular method, which I've seen many braiders do, was the first method I tried, but I didn't like it. Felt like it was too much space. This time here, I kind of incorporated both of those methods and just made one. And this is the method that I'm going to stick with if I continue to do knotless braids on myself. And that is where I start with my real hair, right? I'll show you guys right here in this clip. You know, I started the knotless braid. I started with my hair. So I start with grabbing my real hair, divide it in 3 sections, 1, 2, 3. Then I go 1, grab my hair, slip it into here, right? And then we're gonna go grab and go 2, 3, right? And then we're gonna grab that other piece here, slip it in, slip it in, slip it in. I will tell you this, I made my parts a lot smaller. You guys love to know how many braids I have in my hair. Like, that is something you guys have asked about since I started my channel in 2015. Like, y'all been asking, like, how many braids you got? Girl, I got 72 braids in my head. With the green knotless braids, I had 50. Was it 50? I think it was 50. So that's the biggest difference right there. I've added an additional amount of braids. So the biggest difference is that with these red knotless braids and the green knotless braids is that I have more braids, smaller parts, more hair. Okay? Let me break that down for you. With the red braids, I have 72 braids in my head right now. 72. Green braids, I had about 50 braids total. Both of these are fine for me. Next, let's get into how much hair that I used. For the green knotless braids, I used 3 pieces of braiding hair when doing my braids. With these red ones, I used 4 pieces of braiding hair. Plus, I made them a little bit thicker so that way these weren't like mini. This is more of a small on the way to medium size. The green ones I had were definitely a small to mini size. Not really almost mini, so it's like small to almost mini. For those of you guys who are learning how to braid, you have to make adjustments. I didn't care that my parts were big with the green ones. I did it, I'm rocking it, I'm wearing it, I'm owning it. I'm gonna braid my hair again. I already knew that, and I did. And I love the way that these turned out. These parts look way better because I took my time. I made more parts, which made them look straighter. Isn't that freaky? Like, making more parts made it look straighter. It looks so much better. I used a regular Kanekalon braiding hair for this style. Nothing fancy. Again, I don't know the brand. Like, I'm literally, when I've been doing my last couple styles, I'm going to the beauty supply store and I'm just getting some braiding hair if I see the color that I like. I don't know the brand, and I don't know if you can buy it online, but if you see a color which is close to burgundy, I know that I mixed 2. Let me see. This is like a full burgundy, right? And then the red highlight that you see is actually an ombre. So it's black and it goes to red. So I just mix those two to give it a little flavor. My green braids, I used a total of 3.5 packs. So I used about a packet more for this style, which makes sense. There's almost 20 more braids than there was in the other one. Somebody asked about how I actually concealed my bald spot. So I'm going to show you guys up close, because if you noticed in the video, I did start braiding my hair, right? I started parting my hair like in a bricklaying pattern. But when I got here, I kind of ran out of space. So I said, well, what am I going to do? I can't just start over. So instead of, you know, just probably going across, which I could have done, you know, I did some like diagonal stuff. So now I got square parts back here and some diagonals here. Again, I'm fine with it. It still looks good.
She did a bricklaying, I did a pipe laying. Oh.
You just can't help yourself. I started out with that, like, so I was doing a U, right? Trying to make it even, symmetrical. So once I got here, I said, oh shoot, I was gonna just do, you know, like that, but then what I look at whenever I'm braiding is my bald spot, and what was gonna happen is I was gonna have like a part immediately down the center, and I didn't want that. So what I did was I just took this section and I just did like a diagonal type of situation, because I needed to make sure that this was covered. This is the bald spot. So this is how I try to conceal it. I always try to make sure there's enough hair parted that can kind of conceal it on both sides. So that's kind of how I conceal my bald spot. And I'll walk around like this, because now it's kind of concealed. I mean, if you're really looking at my scalp, you're gonna see it, but I'm okay, whatever. Pardon the dandruff. Still looks good. It's still intact. Still knotless. A little dirty. Okay. This is a good part. I left a lot of my hairline out because I wanted to make sure there wasn't a lot of tension. See this? I could have turned this into 2 different braids, and that's also why it's bunching up like that, because this section of hair versus the amount of hair that I used just didn't add up. So when you're not consistent in your parting, your braids will also look janky. When you are consistent, it'll look good. So it's very flexible. It's barely touching the scalp. This is about the only piece that I could find that's sticking out. And that's just because me. Yeah, I was rushing on that. If you guys want to continue seeing these review type of videos, let me know down below. Do you guys like when I share these experiences? Am I the only person that has questions whenever I see a style? It's like I see a style on Pinterest and I'm thinking like, oh, I wonder how those rubber bands feel. I wonder, like, is the weave like bunching that hair, or does it hurt the scalp, or is it too tight? Knotless braids, I was definitely asking all the same questions you guys were asking. Does it frizz? How will it last? These braids are definitely going to last me 4 to 5, 6 weeks if I want to keep it to 6 weeks, but I won't be. I'm actually going to be switching out my style soon. I do this because I'm learning myself. I'm teaching myself how to do knotless braids right in front of your eyes. So you just got to do it. Thank you guys for watching this video. Stay channeling the beauty that's within inside of you. Drop a comment if you guys want to see more videos. If you guys have more questions about knotless. I already saw y'all's comments. You guys asked a lot about parting, so stay tuned. I got you. All right. Y'all have a blessed day. See y'all. Bye.